does a lot of the running around picking up supplies, but she's actually out of town right now. She's down in Florida with my daughter, just getting some R&R. So I'm out on the road picking up a few needs at the shop. Now the question is, I literally have no clue where this place is. We'll find it. Back to the road. Hey, I found it. Anyone that knows me knows that I am definitely directionally challenged and I get lost constantly. Okay guys, so my first stop is to pick up Spagna Moss, which is something that we use with the rainbow boas, baby spotted python, certainly baby rainbow boas, and even stuff like the mangrove rat snakes. But we go through it quite a bit, so there's this nice little spot that I eventually found that we always buy the Spagna at. I just can't remember exactly where it is in the store. So a little searching and hopefully we'll get lucky. Do you happen to have Spagna Moss? This is what she pointed me to, but it's not gonna work. So the bad news is that they don't have it here. They could get it here in a week, but I need it today, so. Yeah guys, no, I'm super excited about this collab. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time, yeah. All right, I'll see you guys in a little more than, what, week and a half. Take care, bye. So guys, I just got off the phone with the VAT19 guys. Super cool company. If you haven't checked out their YouTube channel, I'll put a link in the description. It's VAT19. Amazing, amazing stuff. They do great videos, have great products at their place. So we're heading down there in less than a couple weeks to go do a big collab with them where we'll do a video for our channel and then a video for their channel. So that was an unexpected stop that I had to take that phone call. So back to trying to find Spagna Moss. Thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. You too. All right, so success. We've got our Spagna Moss. Now this 20-minute journey turned into about an hour of being gone. I do have to stop at Home Depot to get some nozzles for some of the reel hoses, but then hopefully I can get back and actually get started on snake work for the day. Okay, finally, I have all my stuff back to the shop. All right, back. Got a bunch. I got to pack some geckos. I've got a spot clean Clubridge, and I have to feed snakes today. So let's get started. Okay guys, so this is like the worst case scenario when you're either feeding or spot cleaning. And that's when I was feeding and this guy literally lunged out and grabbed the tip of my thumb, and he is just convinced that I am a mouse. And because there's actually rodent smell in the air because we're feeding, and you can see it's a little bit opaque, its eyes are a little bit cloudy, so it can't really see really good. So it is 100% convinced that my finger is food, and it hurts. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's just a rat snake, a scaleless rat snake, but it's literally trying to like get my finger, and I cannot get my finger out for whatever I could do. Oh, come on, dude, let go, please. Ah! Okay, finally let go. Oh, back in your cage. So that's all in a day's work. I know it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it did hurt for a little bit of a finger thing, but it's not that big of a deal getting bit, but all right, back to work. That sucked. You know, sometimes I think a little bit that you know, I'm feeding snakes all day, or I'm cleaning snakes, or I'm always around animals. And I think, you know, I'm pretty lucky, right? I mean, I have a job that is pretty freaking awesome. But I want to ask you guys, you know, even with having a job that I love to death and I work all the time, I still wonder, like, what it would be like to be something else, you know? And so what's it to you? What's your dream job? Let me know it down below. While I'm feeding, you guys can tell me what your dream job is, and maybe I'll think about what else I'd want to do. But for now, back to feeding. So before you guys say, I want to do what you do for a living, which is pretty badass, by the way, just think of this here. This is my daily life, okay? So every day I'm like a pincushion. I'm always getting bitten, but you know what? I don't care. I love it to death. I'll be honest with you, that little ball python got me pretty good. For a little tiny baby, he packed quite a punch, I tell you what. But regardless, you know, a couple things. Number one, you guys may not know this, I used to play in a band when I was younger, so I always wanted to kind of be a rock star, to be honest with you. You know, like, you know, before I ever bred snakes, I thought just traveling the world, touring, playing in front of people, that to me was the pinnacle. But then I found snakes, and I found my love of snakes, and that's the way I've had the rest of my life. So can't wait to read your comments down below about what you guys want to do. Or do you want to be like me and get bit by snakes all day? I'll think of a couple other topics. So guys, now that RJ is alone, I used to work with him on like target training and teaching him things, and then with the other two animals and the aggression, it became really difficult to keep it on task. So now I'm kind of getting back to where he understands. As soon as he sees me come up, I make a sound or two. Sometimes I'll use you know, a couple different clicks, and he immediately knows it's food time. So as you can see, he's ready to go. Look at him right there. He knows it's time. Ready, RJ? Come on. No, it never gets old. So what else did little Brian want to do when he was growing up, besides, you know, cranking the salad and jamming some tunes in front of a million people, or maybe working with snakes? The truth is that there was a bunch of things I want to do, and I still kind of am one of those guys that wants to experiment with all kinds of things. I think there's so many life experiences out there that we can still all experience. So the point is that even though I love my life and it's always changing, because I used to just be a snake breeder, and now I travel all over the world doing animal stuff, whether it's shooting television, shooting documentaries, shooting web stuff, vlogging, whatever the case may be. So I'm always looking to reinvent myself all the time. But going back to that little Brian, you know, it was funny. I still always had this thing about working with animals, obviously, and I thought I'd be a zookeeper, and then I wanted to be a microbiologist, and then I even thought, man, being an airline pilot would be pretty cool, but I don't really like to fly that much, so I struck that one off the list pretty quick. I even, for a stint, thought about going to medical school and becoming an emergency room doctor. That's right. Me, Brian, an emergency room doctor. I'm sure that would make you feel good. I even once thought about, I forgot what I was going to say. You know, I even once thought about opening up a restaurant and being a restaurateur. There's something about being a cook or a chef that just is kind of romantic.
I ate at this new place, I think.
Are you faking it? Because, you know, we don't have to really do this if you don't.
A lot of options out there. So many things that anyone can do, right? What do you guys say we feed a snake or two real quick, huh? Oh, there it goes. I have to get some Crocs. See, like, bowls like this are the ones that I'm looking at right here. These ones don't tip over. The other ones obviously do tip over. So in the end, guys, I just want you guys to always know one of my messages is do what you love, right? You don't have to be stuck in things that you hate and that you're upset about. Always follow your passion. I'm always changing things around whenever I get into a position where I want something new out of life. I'm willing to take the risk and willing to take the gamble, and that's what it's all about. For everyone that's been following me for any length of time, you might remember a project that I was involved in called Brian in the Wild, where we went and shot a 4K documentary with the full production crew in South Africa about all wildlife. And some people might be thinking, yeah, you did a crowdfunding on that, and And whatever happened with that, and trust me, I am so appreciative, number one, of all the people that helped me with the crowdfunding. We raised a ton of money, and two, that the majority of those supporters have been extremely patient because we are about 10 months behind schedule. With that said, we're making really good progress, and our release date, knock on wood, it's going to be for Christmas. So you could buy a Blu-ray or a DVD of this Brian in the Wild for a Christmas present if you want to. But regardless, that's not what this is about. The fact is that the reason we're so far behind is it's such a bigger project than I ever could imagine. This is the first time I've done a full documentary, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I've learned a lot, and it's been way more expensive than I could have ever imagined. I tell you what, just the color correction and sound mix is almost the budget for my entire post-production. I had no idea that things were going to be there. But regardless, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Now remember, this is an hour-long documentary, and I'm only going to show you guys about 5 minutes of a scene, keeping in mind that there's some voiceover that will eventually be mine that's in here that is just placeholders, and this is still raw. It's going to still be edited down a little bit, but I did want to give you guys the first real sneak peek of a scene, well, a half of a scene that you're going to see in the Brian in the Wild DVD. I've always been fascinated by crocodiles, so when I set out on this adventure to South Africa, it was high on my list to get up close and personal to these beautiful creatures. This is a 3-month-old Nile crocodile, and just imagine, this thing is going to get 2,000 to 3,000 times its size, and it's going to live over 100 years. But we're heading up to Pangola, to the Jozini Dam, one of the most biodiverse places in South Africa. And because of that, there's a tremendous amount of research going on. And today, I'll meet up with one of those researchers to get up and close with some monster, real wild crocodiles. So how many crocodiles are we seeing in this dam right here about?
Just in this inlet section alone, we're getting counts of 230 crocodiles, and included with the whole dam, over 300 crocodiles.
Exactly what are we trying to do once we capture them?
So once we capture the crocodile, we want to fit them with ear tags onto the tail. It allows us easy identification for capture mark, recapture analysis.
And the idea here is to get out on the water and hopefully catch our first crocodile. As soon as we got here, there was crocodiles basically all over the side banks of this dam. So we can get them up on shore, get them down, put some ear tags on them, cut some belly scoops so that in the future, when we find them again, we know exactly what they are, and then you can actually track what locations they're in as well as their growth and size. The sun is starting to fade. We don't have much time left. Fortunately, across the way on the bank, we see one of the dominant bull crocodiles. This is one of the biggest crocs in the entire dam. Mark knows it well, and he said that it's typically not shy. So this might be my opportunity to finally get a crocodile.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Pull.
I'm just crushed. I cannot believe we missed the bull croc. This was our biggest chance. I can't believe he got away. They're here. Just gotta find them. So what did you guys think? Are you as excited about this as I am? I tell you what, I've seen all of the rough footage. It is really gonna be exciting to put this together and share it with you guys. So definitely do me a favor, comment down below and let me know what you think about it. On that same topic, I also want you to comment who was your biggest inspiration when it came to wildlife on TV. I mean, there were some amazing guys out there. Steve Irwin, Austin Stephen, Jeff Corwin, David Attenborough. I mean, these guys were a huge inspiration to me. And I'd like to know from you guys who you think is the best overall presenter for wildlife. So go ahead and hit me up in the comments. I hope you guys are as excited about this project as I am. Again, it's getting close to the end finally. And again, I want to thank my supporters for it. So regardless, guys, you have a great day. Be kind to people, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.